beyond this kind of game of chicken stuff that U.S. pull up in East Asia, they don't have much dry powder at this moment. All the dry powder is going to Israel. It's going to support the Golden Boy.
Freezing Russian assets was the most idiotic thing they could have done. It shows you they never considered the repercussions because they assumed they would win. I actually believe that they considered repercussions. They just brushed them to the side because that's what they always do. They think that they are bigger than the repercussions.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hubris talking, right? Like John McCain said, Russia is just a glorified parking lot with nuclear weapons, which is completely bogus. I visited Russia. I mean, that must be like Moscow must be the most amazing gas station in the world. It's beautiful. Moscow, here I come. Svidania bani gushi pului tu manena de kon vihadi inana katusha na visoki beri na puto.
Pensando por lo que más tú quieras, hasta cuando pasan los días y yo desesperado, quizás.
Because they're hubris, they thought, oh, we'll just hit them with all we got. We have them by the balls because they need to rely on the U.S. dollar for transaction. And guess what happened afterwards in 2022? In 2022, Russia actually surpassed Germany as Europe's largest economy, despite the sanctions. Because guess what? At the end of the day, dollar is just a piece of paper. Everybody needs oil and gas. If people need to burn natural gas to survive the winter, which exposed the difference between the fiat currency and real value of commodities that's actually needed by people. So Russia is sitting in a good position. They are sitting on tons of natural resources that's desired by the rest of the world, and now they turn to China because they're forced to turn to China. The thing is, I have seen many Russian observers have said after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia, like much of the Eastern Bloc countries, was basically turned into an economic colony by the West. It's got flooded by the Western brands, Western products, and now. And this is by decree from Washington. They're cut off. And then they realize it's not the end of the world. This actually helped them to reindustrialize. Now the Russian domestic industry has a real chance to produce the goods that Russian people want. For everything else, they just can buy from China. Because China already made goods for the world. I mean, they're not really... The only thing that are getting cut off is the overpriced Western. Because what are the Western brands of product? They're also made in China. They just slapped with this Western brand label so they can sell you at a premium. The use of financial sanction against Russia, it's an alarm bell to a lot of the people in the rest of the world outside the so-called collective West. And the reason people adopt, say, U.S. dollar is because it's a stable, relatively stable currency. It's accepted everywhere. But now you're telling me what? You can just take my money away from the bank? My money is not going to be safe if I deposit it in the bank in U.S. dollars? Well, then of course I'll take my money back. and this is exactly what happened. This is why U.S. dollar is increasingly losing its value as a world reserve currency, because people realize, okay, there's a danger. danger. The US dollar is in fact not a safe currency because they can take away your money. and that's just self-preservation, biological self-preservation. Don't put your money all in US dollars. So this is the people they drink their own Kool-Aid, right? They start believing their own propaganda. They really believe, okay, the world cannot survive without us, without U.S. hegemony, without the U.S. dollar. And then they wake up and realize, oh crap, that's all a construction. In fact, people don't need dollars, and people do need gas. People do need oil, but maybe they don't need U.S. dollars. Yeah.
Nevertheless, it is the main weapon used by the United States to preserve its power across the world. As soon as the political leadership decided to use the US dollar as a tool of political struggle, a blow was dealt to this American power. I would not like to use any strong language, but it is a stupid thing to do and a grave mistake. Look at what is going on in the world. Even the United States allies are now downsizing their dollar reserves. Seeing this, everyone starts looking for ways to protect themselves. But the fact that the United States applies restrictive measures to certain countries, such as placing restrictions on transactions, freezing assets, etc., causes grave concern and sends a signal to the whole world. Do you even realize what is going on or not? Does anyone in the United States realize this? What are you doing? You are cutting yourself off. This is about self-conceit. Your political establishment does not understand that the world is changing under objective circumstances. And in order to preserve your level, even if someone aspires, to the level of dominance, you have to make the right decisions in a competent and timely manner. Such brutal actions, including with regard to Russia and, say, other countries, are counterproductive. This is an obvious fact. It has already become evident.
But I want to read something to you guys. This is what Larry Johnson said about this platform right here. One of the beautiful things about the internet is that it opens up the world to a variety of voices. Anya K and Rashid Muhammad are two excellent examples of this. Anya is a smart lady who currently lives in Poland, and Rashid is a great American living in St. Louis. He didn't want to tell you exactly where I was at, so he used St. Louis, okay? But it says the only flaw that both have is that they think I'm worth talking to and regularly give me an opportunity to discuss the latest going on in Ukraine and the Middle East. Anya invited Andrei Martyanov and me to do a deep dive on Ukraine. I love being able to have a discussion with Andrei. I have learned a lot from him. His book should be more must reading at all U.S. military academies. Now, this is what he had to say about this platform here, okay? He says, Rashid is my brother from another mother. He has a very small audience. Frankly, he merits having at least 100,000 subscribers, right? He said, Rashid is a smart man who is anything but parochial, okay? So everybody recognizes the games that they play, so don't sweat it. We're going to keep, as long as we get the truth out, it doesn't matter if they suppress the numbers. You'll get it. Other people will get it. I'm not concerned with the numbers. They can keep me. They could have put me at 200. It doesn't matter, because I'm talking to Carl. I talk to other people, and all our goal is to try to inform you of the reality of what's going on. And that's what. So Carl, And yours should be, especially yours should be over 100,000, Carl. I'm just going to be real about it because I listen to you and I see your stuff. And what do you think about, when you see other people and they're 200-300, and Carl, the work that you do should merit you being over 100,000 subscribers?
Well, YouTube is doing a lot of funky stuff with their AI algorithm right now. I see exactly, what you're talking about. Right now, our talk, sometimes I cut them into smaller segments and post on my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as so every time the AI gotta run their check to determine whether it's for the ad suitability. I notice anytime we talk about Israel, Palestine, automatically it says it's not suitable for advertisers. So I had to manually appeal, request a human review, and thankfully so far, I get the human reviewers have always passed it. But now the AI, like their default algorithm is set to suppressing dissent on Israel and Palestine. Anytime you mention Gaza, that I have to pass through the AI check. They always say, "Oh, sorry, it's not suitable for advertiser." And it's not that I care for like that $10, $25 YouTube revenue, but it's the fact that the UI algorithm won't push it if it's not ads enabled, because that's how YouTube make money. They make money from the advertisement, and if your video is demonetized, then your YouTube AI has no incentive to push it out to the viewers. So that's how they artificially suppress your viewership.
Mm-hmm.
This is very blatantly obvious, and it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, which really goes to which is even make it double ironic. Just so last week, CNN did a segment on China saying China censors allow anti-Semitic comments on the internet, and he was like, and even in the segment they had one Zionist guy living in China. He said, "Oh, before October 7th, actually, China is quite friendly to the Jewish people. But after I'm like, wait, what happened? Well, tell me what happened that switched the public opinion? I mean, could it be the massive atrocity Israel is committing on the people of Gaza that people don't like? I mean, did that even enter? The problem is right now they equate any criticism of Israel, any support for Palestine with anti-Semitism, which is completely bogus. They're calling out Jewish Voice for Peace as an anti-Semitic organization. I mean, it's we live in a freaking bizarro world, and they use every freaking like this media manipulation to suppressing domestic dissent. They don't want us to even talk about it because they know their policy is indefensible. So they just don't want you to talk about it. That's why, like, you have those. I saw another video. I think it was Biden and Kamala Harris campaign. They're filtering out people who are visibly Muslim from attending. Like they're blocking out people with hijab from attending the talks with Kamala Harris and Biden. It's like they know, because they know what they're doing is indefensible. So you know what? Okay, we don't want you to talk about it. We don't want you to be even present. We don't want you to be visible. So we can pretend that there's no problem. But guess what? That's not going to help them when the election comes around. They're still going to lose. I mean, there's no way they're going to get the Muslim vote in Michigan. No freaking way, man. And guess what? When they do lose, and I have a feeling that there's a realistic chance they might lose the election in November. And all the Democrats, the DNC establishment, are probably going to blame the Muslims. They're going to blame the black people. They're going to blame the Chinese, and they're going to blame the Russians. That's all they do. It's like the go-to scapegoat. It's anything but their own problem. It's not their own actions, supporting Israel no matter what, that's costing the election. You had to be you guys, you saboteurs, you Putin stooges, and you're like the China apologists, like
Yeah,
It's crazy, man. It's crazy world we live in.
Carl, it to me, it's like right now we have 100 on my dash. It's 167 people watching. I want you to do whenever you get a chance, come back after the show when it's over and watch how many views. It'll say 4 views or 2 views, and I'm like, are you serious?
It happens, yeah. It happens on my videos too. For some reason, they're not counting. They're not counting the number of viewers during the live stream anymore. Like this gets reset to 0 after the live stream is over. Yeah, I don't know why they do that, but but even more, I even more insidious is their like AI algorithm just automatically flag you as ads unfriendly if you talk about Palestine. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, Carl, someone put, and I know I'm looking for it right now, but somebody put in here